Well, this is a first, however, since it is a new year, we're gonna do something new for the channel. You know, the whole new year, new me, you know what it is, Slay Queen. Believe it or not, I am actually a Sonic fan. I know I probably have one or maybe even two if I'm lucky total Sonic videos including my other channel. And I get it, I don't have Sonic content flowing through the pipeline. But look, Sonic has been branching out to many different medias, even past just the gaming scene. Over the past few years, we got a lot of new Sonic content such as the movies as well as Sonic Prime and animated series. And I'd argue because it's branching out so far, the large amount of content is going to make this series even bigger than it could have ever been before. Sonic the Hedgehog is no longer a gaming series, and honestly I would say it's more of an animated series if anything. But let's start off by looking at what Sonic has done in just the gaming series himself. Over the past few years, I would say there's mainly two Sonic games that debuted on console. The first and one of the easiest ones to talk about is Sonic Superstars. When this game was first trailered, it was kind of a banger for a lot of people. I mean, it was the old classic Sonic and you're running from left to right, nothing else to it. And while I say this game wasn't necessarily bad, Sega had a completely different viewpoint. Sega would tell us straight up that this is a disappointment of a game. And I mean, hey, you guys are the big bucks, you want the money, so if you say it's a disappointment, I guess it is. But the issue with Superstars was not really the marketing or even how it looked. The issue here with Superstars is, if you're trying to bring in new people, this is not the way to do it. A side scroller where you can constantly never see what's in front of you because Sonic is so fast is not for new people. Plus, this game might as well have been competition for another release, Mario Wonder. And if Mario and Sonic are already doing all this Olympic stuff, then what are you gonna pick up? I mean, right before the holidays too, it's either Sonic or it's Mario, that's it. I would love to see them branch out and make a Superstars 2 one day, but we all know that's not gonna happen. But to give this game the praise it deserves, I mean, Superstars was a cute little game. You could even pick Sonic wearing a Shadow onesie. This might be the swaggiest Sonic costume I've ever seen. But regardless, Sega called it a failure, so it is what it is. On the other hand, the more successful game was Shadow Generations. Because 2024 was the year of Shadow, we got mainly two different things for Shadow the Hedgehog. Of course, the movie, which we'll talk about a little bit later, and then the Shadow Generations game. Now this is technically a re-release of Sonic Generations with just Shadow stuff in it. I mean, instead of making people buy it again, you could have just gave us DLC. But it's okay, you know how many people bought this super pack, I'm not gonna complain. Shadow Generations is really what you want to see in a Shadow game as well as a Sonic game. It gives you two different types of gameplay, whether you want the side scroller or the full-on 3D. And plus, for all the fans that are tonight will be the night that I will fall for you, you're now playing this game in Shadow's point of view, which is what a lot of people wanted anyway. Shadow is marketable just like Sonic is, if not just a tad bit less. But to give Shadow a game that he can star in for the year of Shadow, and you can still market Sonic in a game if the kids want that as well, I mean, this was a great play. But there was one more game that came out on April 1st. The game I'm referring to is The Murder of Sonic. A very simple game that's a light novel and it didn't cost you a dime. Even though light novel games get a very bad look because if it's not go go go, they don't want it. I mean, how can you possibly be upset about a Shadow Drop Sonic game? Now I get it, it is kind of crazy they said, hey, for April Fools, we're gonna murder Sonic. But you know what, man, it's all for marketing, they caught the world's attention, you got it. Any other small games that came out of this you can think of are just bonuses. Again, I don't believe that Sonic's big dollar comes from the gaming scene anymore. Sonic the Hedgehog is now a TV character. Within the past 5 years, I would say that Sonic the Hedgehog has been revived because of the TV media scene. You see, there's multiple new ways as to Sonic just being something that you can see on TV compared to watching. And the most recent one you've probably seen, without spoilers, is of course the Sonic the Hedgehog movies. Just this past December, we got Sonic the Hedgehog 3, which really starts Shadow because of the year of Shadow. But they've been popping these Sonic the Hedgehog movies out like they're on a birthing cycle. Of course, me being the fastest hedgehog alive, not only I saw it day one, but I also saw the other two movies. And I could say that Sonic the Hedgehog 3 is probably the best of the group, but what a lot of people love is that they're finally showing more Sonic characters within the movies. Now, you already know that Sonic 4 is about to go crazy, but the first three movies really did their thing, especially the third movie. Plus, I really love the fact that they're trying to keep a lot of the canon stories still relevant to this Sonic verse. I mean, yes, of course, it doesn't really make sense that Gerald Robotnik is back within the movie, but honestly, do you really care? They were trying to sell the world with this new movie like it's the next coming. I even pulled up a couple weeks before to go see Gladiator 2, and guess what I saw? Yeah, I know, Sonic just introduced me to Gladiator 2 as if he's watching it himself. I mean, they even had YouTube cutscenes with music trying to advertise this movie. And honestly, this little cutscene here, if you saw it, wasn't that bad. I mean, whatever they did to Knuckles' design is horrific, like, oh my goodness. But these Sonic movies is really where they make their bang for their buck. But past the movies, Sonic has also reintroduced himself to the animated scene. I'm specifically looking at Sonic Prime. I mean, there is another series, the Knuckles series, but I don't know, man, he just got it like that. But when it comes to Sonic Prime, even though there's a lot of people that whine, this was a good series. Now, those whiners are what we have to talk about. I don't really care if you want to say this is bait or not, because if it is, then too many of you need to get a job. Sonic Prime itself was a good series. It's true that you had to stream it on Mr. Expensive himself, however, you can go stream it or you just don't have to. The problem is some people simply don't like the Sonic Prime series. There's not too many animated Sonic series out there anyways, especially with a quality like this. However, some people just can't help themselves to not go to Twitter just to complain. And when they go to complain, I mean they are set to whine and it's really lazy. I mean, this comment right here says that they're turning the blue blur into a marketable child's toy. I mean, come on now, dude, what are we doing here? I cannot remember the last time I saw Sonic being made for a mature audience since Shadow had a gun. So I mean, when they do all this new Sonic content, who do you think that they're marketing towards? Just because you have kiddo in your name does not mean that you're a kid. I mean, you might as well have told me your age right here. And truth be told, there's no issue with your age. You can be however old you want and you can still watch Sonic. But don't act like Sonic the Hedgehog is only for big bad adults. It's simply not. And matter of fact, when it comes to Sega, they have another series even more adult than Sonic. I mean, heck, this series has people pointing guns to their head. Sonic's new identity is to be marketable for young kids. That's simply how it is. I mean, be lucky that you get to hear a cuss word in a movie here and there. But if you're looking for something like this, you're not gonna get none of that. Stop that right now. Plus, the last, I would say, good Sonic series we had within Sonic X, people didn't watch. Which I'd argue that Sonic X was really pretty fire, I'm not gonna lie. But if you're not gonna enjoy Sonic X or even Sonic Prime, then what do you want? Sonic's not gonna be out here going stupid on Amy, alright? It's not happening. With Sonic Prime currently having 2 seasons, I really expect there to be more. And I'm just talking about the Netflix scene. I haven't even talked about all the YouTube skits that they have. I mean, Sega's just out here doing this stuff for fun because they know people want to see Sonic. We just talked about the Sonic games a minute ago, but forget the games. What's gonna bring in the most money is for something for fans to watch. Now listen, I'm never going to be the one to tell you to not watch Sonic content. Even though I may not be a Sonic tuber, and I'm sure you can find another one just as good. By the way, you better pay me for this, my boy. You're better off just enjoying the utopia while it lasts. I look at some situations such as Mario that had a movie. But imagine if Nintendo was not a joy killer and continued to put out movies just like this. I mean, this is literally what Sonic is currently doing right now. Matter of fact, they're even one-upping you because not only they're putting out more movies, you're also getting more new content to watch as well as more games than Mario's ever gotten. At least in a, a timely manner. So overall, you have to sit there and soak it in and enjoy it while it lasts because at some point, it's gonna stop. They're gonna run out of things to care about and well, Jet the Hawk is not going to be the selling point. I mean, he might be for me, but maybe not for you. So at last, Sonic is in his heyday and I really want to know what you guys think in the comments down below. But for now, if you do love this weird random content I just put out of mine, show some love to this video by subscribing and all that other crap and I'll do another one. But until then, I'm going to point you to this video over here that's on this channel. I'll see you guys over there. Happy New Year.